In this video, we'll talk about fonts and typography. One of the things that you have here in Adobe XD is text, and with text you have your text selector. So this will be all the fonts that are installed in your system. If I click on this drop down, it will show me all the different fonts that are loaded in my system, and I can select those fonts. And then you have font styles. So with a good font, you'll have a big family and a lot of choices. So you can see that there's a lot of choices that I can make with this family called Knockout, which is a great font because it has lightweight features, and it has full width, and it has heavyweight, has a lot of different weights and choices, which is what you want in a font family. So how do you go about figuring out what font you need to use and what's good for the web? So on the web, we have base fonts that are going to work everywhere, and those fonts are kind of boring and outdated. You have Arial and Helvetica for sans serif faces. You have Times and Times New Roman for serif faces, and those are heavily used all over the place. But web fonts are now supported in a lot of different environments, and they've got more support within the browsers. So web fonts are a great place to go. And one easy way to implement web fonts is with a site that Google came out with, is fonts.google.com. You definitely want to take a look at here. There's a lot of fonts to choose from, and there's a lot of different ways to look at these fonts. So what's happening right now is that it's showing me the fonts that are trending, and I can sort this by the most popular. And you can see Roboto, Open Sans, and Lato are the most popular. Noto, Sans, JP is another popular font. Montserrat is here. Source Sans Pro. So these are the most popular fonts. And then we have the newest fonts that are out, and fonts by name, so alphabetical order. So I'm going to go back to most popular, and these fonts are downloadable. These are open fonts. They're open source fonts, so anyone can use them in their projects. And let's say, for example, I'm interested in this Noto, this Open Sans font. So if I go ahead and click on that, you see that you can download the family. I've already downloaded this font, but you can download it. When you install it, it's going to install on your system, and you're ready to use it. There's a list of styles here. So there's light 300, regular, semi-bold, bold, extra bold, and italic versions as well. Then it shows you a list of glyphs. Glyphs are like icons that are built into the fonts, and it shows you some who made it and licensing information, and then how you can use it. So if I click download family, that's going to download. Then I can open up the zip file and I can install it. So when you install on your system, and if you're on a Mac, you can use the Fontbook app to sort and manage your fonts. So here is my version of Fontbook, and I've broken things out into specific categories like calligraphic fonts, condensed fonts, fonts that are kind of fun and whimsical, fonts by different clients. I have ornament fonts, fonts, and this is another client font, script faces, serif faces, slab serif, traditional, and some web fonts. Okay, so you can categorize things. If you go to all fonts, it'll show you all of your fonts that are in your system. And the way that you add fonts to your categories is simply by drag and drop. So you can drag and drop into a category. So that'll get you to have the fonts on your system, and then it's a matter of using the fonts. Now, in using the fonts, it's important to create a type scale. So if I go back to XD, you'll see there here that I have a type scale. And what a type scale is it defines the type sizes in your system. So we're creating an app, we're creating a design system, and in that design system we need consistency. So just like a magazine or a newspaper will have consistency in the headlines, in the body font, in all the different subheads, legal text, small text, text that appears in ads. All of that stuff is standardized in a system, and we want to follow similar guidelines to make things hierarchical and to make things make sense within our app or within our website. So how do I come up with these type scales and these type systems? Well, there's a couple different websites that you can use to come up with these systems. I'm going to go here down to one of them, which is a type scale calculator. So first thing you do is you plug in your base font size, whatever that base font size is. 16 pixels is the standard right now. That's usually 100%, and most browsers will have that as its default size. And then you have a scale to choose from. So all this is regarding the golden ratio, which is what it's called. And you can see here that we have the golden ratio to start with, but then there are some differences. There's some adjustments that you can make to that. And this, it sounds like music. It is actually, kind of like from the musical scales. So we have a perfect fifth, augmented fourth, perfect fourth, a major third, minor third. And if you choose any one of these, you'll see that the type scales change. And this site will give you the size in rems, which means relative M units. And then it'll give you the size in pixels. And then you can choose a Google font to start off with. So all the Google fonts are loaded in here. So if I load in, let's say, where is it? There's that Noto Sans sign. Let's look for Roboto. And let's see if Roboto is loaded in here. Here it is, Roboto. So then it will show me that font. And then you can choose the weight. Right now it's 400, which is regular. 500 will be a little bit heavier. 900 will be like the heaviest. So you probably want to keep it at 400. And then you can change the preview of the text. You can change it to whatever you want it to say. And then using this, you can create your type scales. Now, 67 pixels might be too big for your environment. You don't have to go that big. You can use the next size down. And then you can see that maybe this is your header. This is your subheader. This might be another head level, like a subhead level 2. And then you have your base font size, which would be your body text. And you have smaller font sizes for things like legal text. So this is a great asset that you can use for that. There's other systems that are out there that are similar to this, but then you would note all these different options and you can put them into Adobe XD, and then you can save these. Remember over here we have our library. So if I look at my character styles for this particular project, all those character styles are going to be saved right here. 37.9, 28.43, 21.33. These correspond exactly to the type system that I'm creating. And then I can use that throughout my project for whatever I need, for body font size, for other font sizes, everywhere within the project. And that keeps everything consistent. And that's what you want with a type system. You want everything to be as consistent as possible. So hopefully that helps with thinking about typography, thinking about fonts, how to create a type scale, and using that type scale throughout your projects.